Hello, um, I want to show you some Selmer altos, and not any altos. This is three different models that Selmer has made and that is very famous. From left to right we can see the balanced action made in 37, and then we have the SPA or Super Action as it was called when it was released from 52. And on the right side we have Selmer Mark 6, and that one is from 63, and it's very interesting to see how the saxophone model or the Selmer saxophone developed during the years. It was I would say like an adding of features. This on the balanced action, this is of many considered as the first modern saxophone design, and as you can see it's very similar to all saxophones made today. I would say almost like Yamaha and Yanagisawa, and everyone has the very similar layout to this. There are one exception, because it's a straight line for these tone holes. That was changed on the SPA, then this was tilted. So this is also maybe even more as a modern saxophone, and that was maintained on the Mark 6. And what also was introduced was this removable bell on the SPA. You don't have that on the balance action. Here you have just a simple standard, what was standard on that time, bar for the G sharp and the B flat here. But already on the SPA they introduced these screws where you can set it both here and back and forth here, so you really can dial that in perfectly. You can see this connection here is the Selmer classic design, already was on the balanced action, and the sheet metal guards with this adjustable felt bumpers here that has a screw, that was introduced on the balanced action, and that was like on the all of this. For the main reason between a balanced action and a super balanced action, there are differences in how they sound, so probably there are differences in the bore size and everything, but you can see it's very difficult to see. You need to measure that to know. The length of the both, everything between the BA and the SPA, it looks very similar, but you see here they introduced the removable bell on the SPA. They also introduced this feature, and these keys the layout of this was a little bit bigger and improved here compared to this one. But this is not the latest model of the BA cluster here for this key, so they already started making this a little bigger on the BA. Otherwise you can see these palm keys, it seems very similar, but when you look close you can see it's actually a lot of changes. Some things are same, as this key here continues here. It's not on a long rod, but you have a short rod here from this side pushing here. That one they did differently here, so you just have pivot screws here on the Mark 6. So the octave key is the old version on the, with a rocker and everything on the SPA. That's what you have, very similar on this. It's a little bit different. They tweaked how it was, the post was positioned and so on. Also the springs on this feels much lighter, and I think it's not only because it's lighter springs, because it's longer springs. They shortened the spring length a bit on this one. So that's a more modern feeling on the keys. This one, I think maybe you can get it to work, but I would probably expect this softer feeling if it's original spring sizes on it. The engraving, I don't know if you can see it, but it's extremely beautiful on the balanced action often. Sometimes there are no engraving, but on this one, sailboat, tree, I mean birds in the sky, water, mountain tops, and then surrounded by this flower pattern. I mean, wow. You don't see that today if it's not made by a robot. On the BA, there are many different designs. This is an American pattern with a flower, also very beautiful, but the sailboat is gone. And on the Mark 6, this is a more coarse pattern. It's beautiful, but not that much work put into that, I would say. Also, the octave, this one, this design that was legendary, that they have stopped now by some reason. Seems stupid to me, but I like this. I think it's really slick, nice. You cannot catch anything on this either. It's good in that way. So that was introduced with the Mark 6, together with the new octave that rocks in the other direction have this extra linkage. So this is like standard on all modern saxophone. They have coated Selmer more or less just straight off. Yamaha, Halo, King, maybe not King, but what do you call it? All this Chinese stuff down that. I think that's a proof of that this is an excellent design. And the build, what about the build quality of this? I can't really say it's a difference. These saxophones have been through a lot and restored and tweaked, and the gaps have been maybe added or removed by different technicians, so you don't know the original what it was. But they are, I would say it's similar in build quality, all of this. I try to zoom in a little bit. You can see this key cluster here is very similar. I think it's reused from the SPA. You can see this how this design is integrated here in that key cluster on the SPA is the same on the Mark 6. You can see that this ornamentation foot they have on each on the old Selmer on these keys, they have it on the first Mark 6. They later removed it, reduced it to just a straight pin. You have something similar on this one, but it's not a separate piece. They have done it in a different way here on these three keys. So and the bands here, you have this scroll, what you call it, a pattern. This many things. This is a little bit more beautiful than what they do today, is the straight lines. You have this also on all the three here, and on the Mark 6 they stopped at I think around 66 or something like that. Is there something more I should say? When it comes to bell size, it is the BA has a slightly bigger bell flare compared to the other horns. But I don't know if it's bigger. Actually, seems like the BA and SPA has a bigger bell than the Mark 6. So maybe that's something that will affect the sound. I don't know if it's bigger if it's just the end or if all the bell is bigger, is very difficult to say. That you can't see a difference by just spotting it like this. And what about the sound? Well, I think the SPA has a very nice sound. Maybe it's what more focused sound. It's a core, very fat core in it. The Mark 6, at least this Mark 6, but this is a longbow, so by many people say that has the best sound of the Mark 6. I don't know, but that this is the one I can compare with. So it's the core is different. It has a lot of it's a nice sound. There's a lot in it, but the core is different. The core is very beautiful in the sound in this SPA. On the BA, it's more similar to the SPA than to the Mark 6 when it comes to the sound. Maybe a little less, a little bit more robust sound maybe in this. It has a core, the core sound that a little more core sound than that's this little more different there. So I think you can see that there are many similarities, but also Selmer really did a lot of changes between these models. There are hardly, I mean, there are not many parts that they can then fit between these saxophones. About the neck tenon and the neck size, I could actually put any, it's the same. The size here is the same on all of them. The difference is very minimal, and I would say it's just because it's a fit they make that is unique for each saxophone. And on this, that are old saxophones, this has been weird a bit and adjusted to fit. So, but at the moment I can use any neck on any saxophones here. So it's really not any bit difference. The one thing I didn't mention was the thumb hook that is on the Mark 6 was this metallic adjustable hook, on at least on the first models, later the plastic one. On this one it's not adjustable and it's thinner and metallic hook. So that one is the same design as on the SPA and the BA is the same. But I think it's very comfortable and it's positioned for my hand in the right place, and I never really understood that adjustment, that you rock it back and forth, what that should be good for. It's not an improvement for my hand, but maybe for some people's hands it is. Is there something more I want to say? I don't think so. Well, I hope this was interesting. I'm lucky to be able to try these 3 saxophones, so I did this video to document that. Have a nice day. Bye bye.